Hi, I'm Dan Goforth at Setting the Edge, and here we are at the extremely loud and incredibly proud Lumen Field to talk about the Seahawks. How did they get here? It started in 2024 when Mike Macdonald and John Schneider really began to build this juggernaut. Mike Macdonald had such an influence on this team that by the beginning of 2025, not only did he have complete buy-in and almost 100% attendance for everything that was preseason, but he had people saying, multiple players, that he was the best teacher and the best motivator they'd ever played for, and that this locker room was the tightest one they'd ever played in. Losing the first game to the 49ers became a real tone setter, and it really got all the players plugged in and the coaches dialing back just a little bit of what they'd given them so that they could play free without having to think and just execute. That meant Ernest Jones was tearing it up as the green dot quarterback for the defense. Byron Murphy blew up from his rookie season to end up having 7.5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 21 QB pressures. DeMarcus Lawrence brought in as a free agent, 6 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, 20 QB pressures, and 2 fumble return touchdowns. Okada, Job, and Drake Thomas all became starters after being backups, and not only provided significant snaps, but game-changing plays. Then we saw the running back carries even out. From week 11 to week 18, Kenneth Walker had 101 carries, and Zach Charbonnet had 90 carries in that time. Most people do not know this. And the last but not least, Anthony Bradford, a very, very, very polarizing player on the offensive line, had an amazing finish to the year. From week 9 to week 18, he was one of only 8 guards out of 60 total, allowing less than 8 pressures, less than 2 sacks, and had a 98% pass blocking efficiency rate. Both the punter and the kicker, J-My and Mike Dixon, tore it up for this team and created amazing field position for them, and of course scored an amazing amount of points as their kicker. The beaten opponent's helmet totem was a squad and 12's favorite. If you haven't seen it, I'll try to put a link to it in the post. The 2026 offseason and draft saw bringing back game-changing wide receiver and returner Rashid Shaheed, Josh Jobe, and Josh Jones, who put in amazing amount of rotational snaps, Jobe becoming a starter, and Brandon Peely, who was also key in providing rotational support for the defensive line. They've also picked up Dante Fowley Jr. to pick up Boye Mafe's lost snaps, Noah Igbenogany to pick up Tariq Woolen's snaps, Emmanuel Wilson to add even further support to the running back room. And just so you know, Green Bay fans are lamenting his loss. The 2026 draft saw John Schneider do everything and make it all about drafting quality depth to make sure he always had people that were ready to play on the ready squad. That meant bringing in Jadarian Price to support a running back room to make sure that running the ball was going to be a big part of this offense. Bud Clark was brought in to bring in DB versatility because he can play the slot, he can play box, and he can play free safety. They brought in cornerbacks Neal, Henderson, Fuller, and Dansby to make sure that they weren't going to run out of cornerback support in the locker room. And even Bo Stevens, offensive guard, and Devin Eastern, defensive tackle, to support the trenches. And look out for an undrafted free agent in Adrian Hubbard, who they expect big things from as a defensive end. Players have really embraced being dissed by the national media as the second best team to the Rams. Darnold has shown us he has worked steadily through the offseason and has already shown up in camp as extremely sharp. Nick Emanmore will definitely be getting more scheme versatility. Riley Mills, who had the amazing sack in the Super Bowl, is looking bigger, stronger, and faster in camp. And the 2025 rookies, Arroyo, tight end, Torrey Hunter, wide receiver, and tight end fullback Oots are definitely going to be seeing expanded route trees. The massive camp, OTA, and voluntary attendance is really making a difference already before they even start training camp. And lastly, they are excited about the chance to play Myles Garrett twice a year and potentially play Aaron Donald twice a year. There is no fear in this squad. As far as the NFC West, the Cards are an interesting team because they have nothing to lose. They can play their hearts out, do whatever they want, and they may have some upsets coming in this division. I can't say that for the 49ers. As old as they are and as injury prone as they are, I don't see them as having big changes from last year, as they are having to go from a last place schedule to a third place schedule. I think that they will get the opportunity, though, to continue to let the Seahawks call the zipper Lumen Field, North Cali. Lastly, the Rams. They're looking kind of thirsty. Desperate doesn't come close to describing their insecurity. They really are going to implode when the Hawks turn SoFi Stadium into Lumen Field, Hollywood. But hey, on the bright side for them, we'll let them clean up our confetti after winning Super Bowl 61.